Hey everybody, this is the Trillionaire meeting. We're here with Pastor Gerald Agee. He's a pastor, he's an author, entrepreneur, and speaker. How you doing today, Pastor?
Doing well, Nathan. Thank you for inviting me to the Trillionaire podcast and opportunity to speak to your listeners and viewers.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for coming. So it's been a lot of strange stuff going on in the world, and people always talk about the negatives of COVID, but what do you think some of the positives were and the good changes that happened?
Well, I think one of the positives that COVID has brought was that it slowed us down enough to really begin to look at what was most important. And so we have been moving so fast, hustling and bustling, trying to do the things that we were after. But COVID has slowed us down to where we were able to spend time with family, spend time with doing things that that were important to us. And so I think that was the silver lining of COVID for me, is that it's just slowed us down to really just think about what is important. What are the things that we should really be focusing on? And I mean, for myself, I discovered that a lot of the stuff that was keeping me busy, I didn't have to actually do it. I didn't have to be that busy doing that busy work opposed to doing real work that was meaningful to me and meaningful to those that I care about and the things that I'm doing in life. And so I think just on a global scale, that's what I see COVID doing for the world. It slowed the world down. Stuff that was not important has been spotlighted. And stuff that is in sport important also have been spotlighted. And, I'm not looking forward to going back to what was. I'm looking forward to going to what's new.
Okay. So what kind of changes do you see coming from like in the future, the next maybe 3 to 4 years?
Well, what kind of changes I would hope to see is that people they continue with focusing on the things that are real, things that are meaningful. I was able to, during the COVID year, was to finish a book that I had started years ago. And so that was real to me. And even now I'm on my next book uh, and so I'm able to refocus, reset on the things that are truly important, and I hope that that is what we moving forward would see. I think there is creativity in the air. We have to be innovative. We have to be creative with new thought, with new things. And just figuring out how we are going to make it better for us as a generation moving forward. And so I'm excited about that because in the face of adversity, in the face of trials, witty inventions generally emerge. And so I'm looking forward to what is new. I'm looking forward to what is creative. I'm looking forward to the inventions and the things that people will choose to do that will be a blessing to to the generation that we are in. And so I see positivity in the future, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited and grateful to be a part of it. And so uh, I think we have a lot to be encouraged about.
Okay. That's super cool. Yeah, I have your book right here. I read it. New Birth. It's a really, really cool book. So in here, you talk about born again and also knowing yourself. And I think myself and maybe a ton of people may have a tough time understanding exactly what it means to know yourself. Do you have a definition or? a way to be pointed into the right direction.
Yeah, because it just coming up during the time that I did, you're framed, your ideals are framed by your environment, by your experiences, and by what people who are in a position of authority, what they are saying about you. And a lot of times it's not correct. I don't think anybody know who we are except for God. I'm a pastor. I believe in the spirit realm, and I think it's extremely important. And I think we have to allow God. You may say, you may call it, or people may call him whatever they want to call him. I call him God, and we have to allow the Supreme to reveal to us who we are. Who we are. It's just like. I don't think it's by happenstance or coincidence that if you have a apple seed and you plant that apple seed into the ground, that apple tree will grow and produce apples. Well, that's a divine design. And that seed will do nothing but produce apple tree with apples on it. And so I believe that there is a divine purpose for everyone. And let me just, since we're on the subject, I think our gifting and talents have a lot to do with who and what that divine design is. And some people are multi-talented, and so they may have challenges in discovering just who they might be because they are so multi-talented. I say go into all of them. Explore all areas of your talent because I believe that talent is a part of who we might be. It's not all who we might be, but it is a major part of who we might be. What is that divine design? What is the contribution I am to make to my generation? I believe everybody is born into the world to contribute. And one of the things that is really uh, adverse to many people is that they think that the world owed them something when really they were brought into the world to contribute, to make it better. And if they do it, if they discover what that contribution is, and if they do it well, they will be richly rewarded for their contribution, not only materialistically, but richly rewarded as a person satisfactorily, uh, being satisfied with their life. And I think that's the goal. Is somebody said that I just want to be happy, and really everybody really want to be happy. But what does that mean? What does happiness mean? Well, for me, it means to be satisfied with life. My definition for success is to have health,
Hmm.
to to enjoy your life and the people that surround you, and to be pleased with the contributions that you make to the world, and to do the things that you love and have enough money to support it. And so it's that right there is not a dollar amount. It's not. It's just being satisfied with your life,
Hmm.
And so so that's what I preach. That's what I believe, and I try to encourage people to discover. Discovering who you are. First, look at what you are passionate about, what you enjoy, what you like, and you will see that you are gifted, and don't let anybody discount your gift. Your gift is important. Your gift was given to you. It didn't come from you. It was given to you. We have to discover it. And then we have to develop it. And then we have to give it. And so that's a major part of who we are, discovering ourselves. And I think the first step is the first step is discovering our origin, and maybe that's might be a part of what your some of your other questions might be, and I'll talk about it if you bring it up.
Okay. So I sometimes may have a thought of something that may have happened negative in the past, or I may think of a bad seed I may have planted, or things like that. So how do you cope with things like that, like bad seeds or regrets and things to
Man,
move on to become who you are?
wow, that's a now that right there is the $1 trillion question, right? And so I asked that question in 1985. 1985, December the 10th, 1984, Nathan, I had a spiritual experience. It was at 6 p.m. It was Friday. It had been raining off and on all that day. And I personally met the supreme being. I personally met my Lord and my Savior, Jesus. And where I met him at was a teaching ministry. And in 1985, I heard the message of reaping what you sow for the first time, even though I heard the saying many times before. But for the first time in 1985, I heard reaping what you sow. And so after I heard that message, I went up to the speaker and I said, "Man, I'm in trouble because I've sown so many bad seeds that if I'm going to reap what I've sown, I am in trouble. What do I do?" And what he said was, he said, "We reap what we sow, and if that is true, then we must sow what we want to reap." He says, "And if you sow what you want to reap, pretty soon you will have so many seeds of what you want that it will choke out all of the seeds that you have sown that you don't want. And pretty soon it will be as if you have never sown those seeds before." And
Okay.
for 1985, I lived that. I lived those instructions because you do reap what you sow. There is a law of reciprocity. What you put out comes back to you. Whether we believe it or not, whether we agree with it or not, whether we like it or not, it's still a law. And it's indiscriminate. It does not discriminate. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you don't have. It doesn't matter what side of the track you was born on. It doesn't matter your nationality, your gender, it does how old you are, how young, it does not matter. It does not discriminate. What you put out comes back to you. And so if that is the truth, and it is, we all know it, uh, then we can put out what we want to come back. Man, that is the power of choice. That is the power of choice. And if you really, really want something, you will choose. You will choose what you want to come to you. And so I think desire has a lot to do with it. What do you really desire? And if you really desire it, you will do what you need to do in order to accomplish it or receive it or be in that position or whatever it is. You will put it out because you know that it comes back to you. And so I tell everybody, listen, nobody is perfect and nobody makes all of the right choices, but we can choose to make choices that will be beneficial to us and not harmful to us, which really brings us to a whole nother subject, really, about choices.
Okay. So earlier you were going to say to discover your origin. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Yeah. So, so your so the uh, Descartes. Descartes was a philosopher in, I believe it was the 17th century,
Okay.
and he was in search for absolute truth, which is that's an important process that he was undertaking. And in order for him to discover for himself what was true, he had to discount everything that he had learned before this time. He had to question it. He had to discount it. He had to eliminate it. And in his process of discounting everything that he had learned up till this point, he found himself at a blank slate. In other words, he did not know anything. And so the first truth he discovered was that he exists. So therefore, he was. That was his first absolute truth. He exists. And so therefore, he was. And the second absolute truth that he discovered in this process of seeking truth, he had an ideal of perfection, but he knew he was imperfect. And so nothing perfect can come from something imperfect. And so the truth was that the ideal of perfection had to come to him and not from him. And so he established the existence of a perfect one. I call him God. And so God is the perfect one and the creator of everything. If I came from the creator, then the creator have to have a design. And so when I talk about discovering the origin, you got to go all the way back. You got to go all the way back. And so, and when you go all the way back, you end up with the beginning, which in the Holy Scriptures, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So, God is the creator of it all. And if you look at creation, think about everything that is around you, everything that you know about the earth, everything that you have learned about stellar heaven. There are systems in place, and all of them are divinely orchestrated. There is a divine system, and it flows and ebbs. Everything is working orderly. It's there is a system, and so this is by design. This is by a creative intelligence. This is by a mind that put it all in place. And I'm a part of that. And everyone that's born into the world is a part of that divine design. And so you got to go back to the origin in order to discover what that design might look like. And I'll tell you this, Nathan, and all of your viewers, that it is a contributor, that that design is about. It's about contributing to your generation. You are important to the whole scheme of things. And it will bring satisfaction to you, and it will bring a blessing to others. And so, connecting to the divine design, you realize that, man, you are part of something that is really important. It is bigger than yourself. And so you are really accountable to something, and you're accountable to something that you can't see. And you must walk with that knowledge that everything that you do and all the things that you think are known. Nothing escapes. Nothing is hidden. It's all known. And so my my journey in life is to discover that person that is accountable in a way to the universe that is not at odds with the universe and not at odds with the creator. And so you learn that, you discover that, you walk in that understanding that, hey, you are accountable to the supreme who sees everything. And when I'm doing something or thinking something that is not right, I'm accountable, and I must do what I can to change it. And so I'm always growing. I'm always becoming better. I am not the person that I was 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I am improving. I am evolving. I am becoming me.
Okay. So I really look up to you as a leader, and what qualities do you think that every leader should have?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. I think, Nathan, that the first thing that I would encourage leaders and people to do is to focus on, and you'll see that everything that I'm saying, there is a thread, there is a connection with everything that I'm saying. The first thing is harmony. Harmony. That is an important word, that we must find the place of harmony in everything. Like I was saying, the universe moves in ebbs and flows. There are times when we are, it's like on the top of a wave. Everything is moving like it should. And then there are times when it's like we at up under the wave, when nothing is moving as we hope. But yet we have to find the place of harmony, because no matter where we are, whether we're on the top of the wave or up under the wave, there is a place of harmony. And anytime that I find myself out of harmony, I must find and hurry back into the place of harmony. So, what are you talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. We are tripart beings. Every human being is a tripart being, tripart, which means there are spirit beings that possess a soul that lives in a body. Your body is your, I call it your earth suit. I call it uh, the the mechanism that your mind uses in order to do things in the earth. And so it's a tool, your body. And so when you look in the mirror, that is your body, but that's not you. That's not the sum total of you. You are a spirit being. You possess a soul, and your spirit and soul lives in the body. Now, let me just tell you and talk about the spirit and the soul. The spirit is in total harmony with the creator. Is not out of step, is in absolute agreement with the creator, the spirit. The soul is your will, is your mind, is your sense realm, taste, touch, see, hear, smell. It's that part of you that connects you to the natural realm. Your spirit connects you to the spirit realm. And your body helps you to function in the natural realm. Your spirit, being in agreement with the supreme, must be aligned, or your soul must be aligned with your spirit. And if your soul is not aligned with your spirit, there is an out of alignment and there is no harmony. And so what your mind, so your mind has to be come in alignment with your spirit, which your spirit is in agreement with the supreme, it's in agreement with the natural laws, it's in agreement with creation. And so your mind has to come in alignment with your spirit. That's harmony. And when your spirit and your mind or soul comes in alignment, then your body will follow. Your body will do whatever your spirit and mind tell it to do. You can control your behavior. You can control your actions. You can control your thoughts. And when your thoughts are in alignment with your spirit, which is in agreement with the supreme, your spirit, your soul, and your body is not out of alignment. It is in harmony. Oh, and when you are in harmony, when you're in harmony, the universe opens up to you. Nothing is impossible to you. Nothing is withheld from you. And so alignment or harmony is so critically important. And when you are in alignment with your supreme creator, now the one that has created it all, the one that is in control of it all, the one that has ownership of the whole thing, have you that's in alignment with him. Nothing will be withheld from you. And so the first thing that I tell everybody, of where leadership is concerned, where success is concerned, where happiness is concerned, is get in harmony. And so I say get in harmony with your creator, be in harmony with yourself, and then be in harmony with creation. That means that I can't just do anything to you uh, that affects you negatively, and it don't come back to me. So I have to watch out how I treat you and others, because I don't want to be out of harmony. Nothing goes beyond, nothing goes unaccounted, nothing is hidden. And so a lot of times people are hindered in their journey because they are out of harmony. They are violating the harmony, uh, code. And so, and they don't realize what it is, but you have to be in harmony. And that's why Jesus Christ who is the greatest teacher of all time. He says, love God first with all your heart, soul, and strength. That's spirit, soul, and body. And love your neighbor as yourself. So you see, all three, God, self, and neighbor. He's talking about harmony, living in harmony. And sometimes because of our upbringing, because of our exposure to, different things in life, we don't know how to do that. So we have to learn. And when we find ourselves out of harmony with someone, we have to learn how to get back in harmony. And so it's not about trying to change somebody else. It's about controlling me. And when I control me, it seems like everything else begins to come in order. Harmony will be the first thing for that I will talk to leaders about is striving to be in harmony. The universe will open itself to you, and nothing will be withheld from
Okay. I hear things from like leaders and wealthy people, and they say that the journey can be lonely sometimes when you're think different than others, or when you're sort of in a different mind frame. Has it ever gotten lonely on the journey?
you. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I have to refer back to my Lord, who says, "Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leads to life." He says, "And few will find it." And that word few over a course of time could be a lot of people. But what it's saying is that in the course of life, when you're choosing to be in harmony, when you're choosing to not be offensive, when you're choosing to be in alignment with Supreme and with yourself and with others, everybody is not thinking like that. Everybody is not uh, operating like that. And so sometimes it's a lonely walk and everybody won't understand. And so a lot of times people try to get other people to understand what they're saying, and people are not understanding is because uh, it's a matter of choices. See, we choose to forgive. We choose to release offenses. We choose to walk, take the higher road. We choose. We have choices, and everybody is not choosing the same. And so sometimes because you are choosing to walk a certain path, and everybody is not choosing it. He says, broad is the way and wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and many are there. Many are there. And so that tells me that many people are choosing something that might be different from my choices. And when I find someone that is choosing like me, I am so happy to see them. There is a connection immediately, and you rejoice, and you are able to talk. You're able to share because you're on the same wavelength. You're on the same, and it doesn't have anything to do with age. There could be some young people have making the right choices, and old people that's making the right choices, and old people that's making the wrong choices, and young people that's making the wrong. And so it has nothing to do with age. It just have everything to do with choices, what we are choosing. And so there is a result from every choice. And so because people are not choosing the same thing, or the same way, you find that you might be alone. And that's the reason why I tell people, especially single people, because I think our partner has got to be the second most important thing in life. Who we say we're going to be in relationship with for life. I believe in marriage. I believe that there is a perfect person for you. Not that the person is perfect because you ain't, but that person fits everything that you're not. It's a perfect fit for you and them. I believe that. I believe that. And so, yeah, there are many people there are many people that may be available, but there is one that is chosen. I believe that. I believe out of 8 billion people on the planet, 4 of them, for me, 4 of them were women. 4 billion were women, maybe a little bit more, because I think it's more women than it is men. But out of the 4 billion women that was on the planet, there was only Alicia. And she is the perfect fit for me. What I'm not, she is. And what she's not, I am. And so it's a perfect fit, and we enjoy each other's company. We enjoy the things that we do. We enjoy the things that we're learning and discovering together, and all of that is that. I believe that's so important. Who it is that's going to be your life partner, and that person has to have similar beliefs, has to have a harmony on the same wavelength, on the same page. Believe this. The foundation has to be the same. It's so important. It's so important. And so, because everybody that's in the world is not going to be the same. And so there will be a lot of people that won't believe like you or think like you and hope like you. But that person has to be the one that think like you, hope like you, and believe like you. That person has to be. And so then you are not lonely. You are never alone, even if you are single. But with that person, you are not lonely, even though sometimes you will have to walk alone.
Okay. And when you have like a lot of stuff going on, like I see you're running a lot of things at the same time. What are like your morning routines, and how do you like keep yourself organized and systems in place, things like that?
That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful question. Well, I've discovered that the most important thing for me is to connect with my creator. That's the first thing. And sometimes it's early in the morning. And so I never be upset when I'm woke up at 3 in the morning, even though I went to sleep at 11 at night. I'm never upset because it's a time for me to connect. And sometimes those are my most productive moments is when I am connecting with my creator. So the first thing I ask is to order my steps today. I want my days to be productive. And what I've discovered, Nathan, was that a lot of things that kept me busy weren't really important. But the things that are important, I get at that time when I'm connecting with my creator. I get my steps. It don't mean that that's all I may do that day, but it does mean that is what I will do that day. And I may do other stuff, but these things that I'm getting during this time of I call devotion, I will do it. And sometimes it's a lot, and sometimes it's not. But whatever it is, those are the things that I do. And Nathan, those are the things that are important, and those are the things that are productive. And so I do that, number one. And then number two, there is a time when I am reading. And so some days that I can do it more than others, but I always spend time reading. And so and there for me, I'm a pastor, and so I read the Holy Scriptures, but also there are other books that I encourage people to read. The more we read, the more we gather information, and the bigger our vocabulary become, and it keeps our mind sharp. And so no matter how old you are, your mind can always stay sharp by reading and discovering everything that is. And so just like I have a gift that I bring to this generation, other people do too. And many of them are led to write, and some of them are great writers. And we can discover things through books.
Okay.
And so that is a time where I would read and meditate and just reflect and dream. And I don't limit my dreams. My dreams are much larger than my capacity, what I would think that I have the capacity to produce. I dream. What if? Why not? And just ask questions, and what I'm discovering is that there is no limit to what can be done. I must just open myself up to the unlimited realm. There is a realm where everything is unlimited. Nothing, there are no limits. And just creative thoughts. The scriptures call them witty inventions, are out there. They're there where you can just, it's not like it comes from you, it's like it comes to you out of, I call it the ether. It's just there, and you catch it. Some things can't be taught, some things are only caught, and you catch it. And so people come up with witty ideas, and you be like, wow, that's genius. But it was like, yeah, that was there. It was always there. They caught it and then put action to what they caught. And so those are my systems. And then me and my wife, we have opportunities to where what I call relevate or revelate, just like what you and I are doing. We just revelate. I don't have anything written down. We just talking. And revelation will flow from just having these kind of conversations where we are talking about what I believe, Nathan. And I'm so thankful and so blessed that, I mean, you are what, there wasn't young people, and there probably was, but I didn't know any of them that was as young as you and as focused as you are, and seeking like you are. Man, that is, I am so thankful and happy for you, because there is nothing that you can't do. There is nothing that will be withheld as you stay on the path that you are on. Nothing will be withheld. You will exceed your dreams. You will exceed your dreams. It will be unbelievable, and you will know that it was some basic things that you did. And I'll stop with this, with your last question. But you did them consistent. Not so much of what we are necessarily doing, but it's what we do consistently that makes us become. See, I have to become what I want before I get it. That's one of the first things that I got when the change took place with me, was that my supreme counselor, God Himself, told me, whatever you want first, be it. Be it. And so that has been one of the things that I've tried to incorporate in my life, is being what it is that I want. Be it. If you want to be a millionaire, first be the millionaire. What does a millionaire do? How do a millionaire act? What do they think about? How do they interact with people? How are you? Be it first. Be it. If you can't see it, it will be hard for you to do it. And so be it first, and then you can do it. And I'll give an example. When I was a single Christian man, um, I was believing for the mate that I have now. I was believing for it because I saw where it said it wasn't good for man to be alone. And so I took that personally because I know me. And so I received that. Okay, it's not good for me to be alone. So there must be someone for me. And what I heard was that whatever you want her to be it first. And so from that day, when I heard that, from that day, I began to be the person that I wanted her to be. I wanted her to be true. I wanted her to be faithful. I wanted her to be, productive. Then I had to be that. And so I began to work on me. I began to become what I wanted. And that is proven, Nathan, to be a spiritual truth, no different than the law of gravity. I've never seen gravity. I don't know what gravity looked like, but I am subject to it. I am subject to it. It is a law that is indiscriminate. It doesn't matter how much money I have or how much money I don't have. I am subject to that law. But that is the same way I'm subject to the law of being what it is that I want, becoming it first, and then it shows up. It's like that.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining. And
Yeah.
have you, yeah, for sure. Uh,
Yeah, great, man. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
for sure. This is your book. Can you tell people where to find your book and where to find more information on you and things like that?
Yeah, you can go to friendchristiancenter.org. That's friendchristiancenter.org. And there is information about the book, information about the ministry, information about some of the things that we are doing currently. And we will be happy to answer any questions and whatever we can do to help you uh, to to fulfill the dreams and the things that you are after in your life. We are available to do that. That's one of the things that we have been called to contribute.
Okay.
And so, thank you, Nathan, for inviting me. Thank you for this podcast. I think it's extremely helpful, extremely important, and I just pray that your listeners and viewers uh, get something out of our discussion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you. And I'll include the links and everything in the description below. So be sure
Okay.
to click on it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.